Hello, and welcome to Texarkana Talk. I'm Lisa Thompson, your host, and today we're pleased to have Assistant Police Chief Kevin Schutte. Kevin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Lisa.
Now, how long have you been with the Texarkana Police Department?
I've been in law enforcement for 30 years. I started in the jail when I was 18 years old, and so this coming May I'll have 30 years of service, and it's all been in the Texarkana Police Department, and I've really enjoyed my career there. It's been a great opportunity.
That's amazing. We're lucky to have you. I know you've had a promotion recently. Can you tell me what your job is now?
Yes, ma'am. Recently there was a reorganization that was conducted in the police department where we changed the department to two distinct divisions, and with that came the promotion of assistant chief positions to be over those two divisions within the organization. And so I was recently promoted to the position of assistant police chief.
Okay, and what do you do on a daily basis?
You know, that's a whole lot different for me. For 20 years of my service at the police department, I've been in investigative capacities, either as a detective, working in different areas, intel, or as a supervisor in investigations. And so I'm used to having my hands involved in what's going on, and with the promotion has come a more administrative role, more policy making, more budget functions and things like that. So now, rather than actually getting my hands dirty and doing a lot of the work, I'm facilitating the means for those guys to get the work done at the police department.
Okay, but still a necessary job.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, so I know a lot of news recently has been about Texarkana, and in the summer especially, things start happening more frequently with crime. So what would you say to people who think Texarkana is a dangerous place?
You know, I've seen the same publications and releases that you've seen regarding that, and I know that there's different motivations for why those organizations are putting out that information. One of the things that I would like to make the public aware of is that in Texarkana, you really are very safe. Most of the time, the violent acts that we see in Texarkana are not random acts of violence. They're generally associated with relationships that the person has with the perpetrator or involving some type of criminal activity other than the violent act that has occurred. Your everyday law-abiding citizen in Texarkana, Texas is really pretty safe.
Right. Well, that's good to know, and I feel the same way. As long as I'm minding my own business, going about my daily life, I feel safe.
Absolutely.
So what do you think the biggest challenge is facing Texarkana related to crime right now?
Well, you know, with growth comes different problems. You know, Texarkana is growing at a rapid pace, and as we as servants in the city try to keep up with the pace of the growth and the things that are occurring around us, there's obviously going to be new issues that we haven't faced before, and we have to come up with innovative ways to approach the different crimes and things that we're seeing in our community. In doing that, we have enacted a neighborhood area coordinator program where we have actual police officers that are assigned to certain areas within the community, and their responsibility is to keep their finger on the pulse of that area of the community, to see what crime trends are occurring, to see the different needs of the community. And it's not just law enforcement related. They keep up with issues regarding code enforcement, street lights that are out, things of that nature. And so they work with other departments within the city to better the quality of life in those neighborhoods. And we've seen a great return on that, in that the public is very responsive to that. It also gives us a face in the community so that the police department is able to interact with our community on a personal level and not just a professional level, as in that we're not approachable. And we've really seen great benefits from that program.
Right. So now a resident might see a friendly face in a police officer. They know who's responsible. Absolutely.
And, you know, the police department, the men and women of the Texarkana Police Department, they really care about not only this community, but the citizens who live here. And so our main goal is to do everything that we can to make the community feel safe, to prevent crime before it happens, and to allow the community to have a great place to work, play, and raise their family.
Well, we certainly appreciate what you're doing. What can residents do on a personal level to keep themselves safe?
You know, a lot of times the police department, criminals commit crime, and that's bottom line. We try to never blame our citizens or victims for being victims or victimized by criminals, but there are a lot of things that our citizens can do to protect themselves, and we try to spend a lot of time educating the public. One of the main things is just to reduce your vulnerability. You can do that in several ways. You can stop leaving things out in plain view in your car when you're in our shopping centers. You can lock your doors, leave your lights on outside at night to deter criminal activity around your home. And one of the great things that we have through our neighborhood watch programs is neighbors looking out after neighbors. It's all about relationships between the police department and the community, but also relationships between neighbors within that community so that they know each other well enough to know when something's not right. And when something's not right, we like to tell the public, if you see something, say something. You know, it may be nothing, but call the police department. That's what we're here for. We'll come out, we'll check things out, we'll make sure that everything is safe. And if it's not, then we'll take whatever action we need to take to ensure that crime doesn't occur.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are really good tips. Thank you so much. And I guess that's it. We have nothing else to talk about today on Texarkana Talk. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. I'm your host, Lisa Thompson. Stay involved. After all, it's a great day to be in Texarkana.